Hi everyone, this is Colleen. I wanted to share this 70s album I made from a record album that held a book that held 4 78s in it, and I purchased that at the flea market for like $1. And on the cover I used some fabric from Joann's and just adhered that on, and I wanted it to represent the 70s fringe coats, which I have one, and on it I hung some turquoise jewelry pieces to represent the turquoise rings and jewelry everybody wore in the 70s, and just some little beads here. Well, I should have big beads, but and over here on the cover I'm shooting at a different angle because I wanted you to see the whole book instead of just part of it at a time, so bear with me here. Over here, whoops, I used seed beads and I glued it on the chipboard, and I thought that was a perfect touch with all the beading. And this is obviously a sun catcher, which I purchased as well at a yard sale. And then on top I placed a eagle pin, which was popular then. And on the corners I placed a pin I found at a yard sale and another kind of charm at a yard sale. So I did this album pretty economical, and I'm pretty proud of myself. It took a long time to find all the stuff, but it was worth it. And over here, what I used to close my album was, they're called suspended mitten clips that I purchased at Hobby Lobby, and that's what I use as my closure. And then I just tied some fabric, and I took and cut it, well, I folded it in half, and then I cut it and made it look kind of fringy, and then added more turquoise. Now I'm going to try to open this here. I can't quite, have a good, let me get this open so I can show you. Bear with me here. Okay. On the inside, I put some more fabric that I purchased from Joann. I thought it was very pretty. I thought it was very 70s, Indian looking. I really thought it was really cute. And I just edged it with some ribbon, and I put some buttons on there and just wrote on the buttons with a marker. And later on I will put some pictures here. And on this page, I took and I inked the record album. Each cover I inked this one with peeled paint, and as you can see, there's a picture of my daughter from a couple years ago in a Halloween costume. And then I added some ribbon, and down here I added, this is a spiral graph. This was in the 70s when this was introduced, and I had some, so I glued that on. And then I put this ribbon down bottom to represent the shag carpeting that most of us had in our house. And as you can see, I cut some holes and put some leather ties up top. And then what I'm going to do is I will pull this out, and I will add photos and journaling on the inside. And this is where the record used to go. Now I still have to add photos and journaling, but I couldn't wait to share this. On this side, I inked this is with the peeled paint as well. Then I stamped it. Now I did notice, because this is old paper, it absorbed the ink, so it didn't turn out as well as what I like, but it still is pretty good. And over here was some sort of weird fabric I found, and I cut it up on the corners, and I thought it kind of matched her outfit from the other page. And this is kind of like that tie-dye stuff. And in the center I placed a metal flower, which I used the Tim Holtz die, and then I ran it through his texture plate after I made the flowers, and then I ran some wire through it in the back, and it spins, and I thought it turned out really cool. So this page is probably my favorite. This page I added let me move it up. You can see I added some more fringe, and I added some ribbon, which I thought was very Indian looking, and another piece of the fabric. And over here is a arrowhead my brother found in a creek here locally, and then I just added these little guys. And I added the feathers to make it look like an Indian headband. So, and up here is a turquoise bracelet, is what I found it at the flea market, and I just ended up using the turquoise part and got rid of the bracelet and glued a feather. And this came with those little charms that were on the front cover, and that came with it. And over here I just used, sorry about that, some Prima flowers I got at Big Lots, and then I adhered this little Indian keychain and which I found at the flea market, and another little keychain with the little feathers and some more feathers, and inside I'll add some photos and journaling later. But I'm real pleased, and I thought it turned out really cute, and it's very original. On this page I added a different color fringe and some more ribbon, and then I stamped with a feather stamp along here. And on the background I used a Tim Holtz stamp. It had like sticks, and that's what I did for like on the background, if you can see that or not. But I kind of gave it some texture, and I also inked it with I believe it was Iced Tea, a color by Tim Holtz ink. And as you can see, I cut some of the fabric from the cover and put it there. And that is a picture of me at the longest yard sale, and I was just posing with these Indian guys that you would typically see in front of like a tobacco store or whatever. And on this side I inked this with Tim Holtz ink. I can't remember the color, but you can see it's yellow. And then I added this bracelet, which I found at a yard sale. I used my spiragraphs that I have, and I did just random little, you know, spirograph designs all over, because that was introduced in the 70s, and so were the Viewmasters. And I found this at a yard sale as well, and that's why I put that in the center, because that was also introduced in the 70s. And if you look up here, my flowers, whoops, if you can see them, there we go. There's a spirograph centers I made, and also my kids, one of my daughters still had some Play-Doh stuffed away, and I cut the Play-Doh thing off of the lid and put that on the middle of the flower, because Play-Doh was also introduced in the 70s. On the back side, again, inked it with a yellow, added another Viewmaster, and I added a necklace I found at a yard sale, and I just added some little Prima flowers with some bling. And what I did is I went on a website with all the fads of the 70s, and then I hand wrote them all over the page, and just for fun. And a lot of you, well, some of you might recognize them. So anyway, a Holly Hobby, which you saw on my videos on that, and Pop Rock Candy, and you know, roller skates and baseball cards and the Magic 8 Ball and different things I associate with the 70s. And on this page, I did this as another kind of Indian design page, and I inked it with Vintage Photo, and then I added some Prima ribbon right here that I got at Big Lots, and some more little Prima flowers. And the cool thing I did down bottom was I placed some more fringy fabric I got at Walmart, and this is some leather pieces. I bought a bag of this at Big Lots a long time ago, and I took my tool, that heat tool, little one that burns, and I used it, and I just wrote on each of the leather pieces, and it just burns it, and you can write on it just like a pen, and it was really cool. So that's what I did with the leather pieces. So I just burned the words into the leather pieces. On the inside, I added some fabric that I purchased at Joann's. I'm sorry, not Joann's. Hobby Lobby. And it was really neat. It has all these, as you can see, it has all these Indian baskets and stuff. And then I just added some ribbon at the top. And I will again add photos on it. And basically the photos I'm going to be adding are pictures of my daughter and I, both my daughters and I, within our 70s clothes. So I thought it'd be a lot of fun. And this is the back side, which I did do the vintage photo ink and then the trim, and I added a different type of Indian type fabric design. I got that over at Hobby Lobby, and I added some jewelry stones, which I thought matched really well in the green. And on the last, oh, and then up top, that was another one I did up here, is I used, you know where you, I used the letter thing where you put it on there and you hammer it. Well, that was way harder than what I thought it was going to be. So other than love the 70s, I didn't do anymore. It's loud and it was difficult to do. And on this page, I just used the same fabric as the other side, and I will add photos to that. And on the back side of it, this is what the front looked like, where it had the holes here. And you would, you know, I put the ribbon underneath for it to show through. I meant to do it on the front, but it got messed up and I had to cover it with ribbon. But I think it still turned out really well. And as you can see, I added some eagle little belt buckle things that I found over at Hobby Lobby on clearance a long time ago. Just ran some ribbon through it and just added like a little button on the end. And then up top, I found these at the flea market. They're little beaded doodads with eagles on it. So I was able to tie in the eagles again. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it didn't make you too sick watching it. I'm filming it from way far back so you could see the whole album and not just parts of it. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. And thank you for watching my video. Bye.